What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate support. Guys, listen, I'm going to talk about a story I just seen on my news feed, and it's heartbreaking, tragic, and it's seems like senseless to me. The story is about this man right here. This story happened this past Friday. It just made the news now. And police need help in trying to identify the three men who did this to this guy up here pictured. His name is Frank Kwasnica. He's 51 years old, out of the Arlington, Texas area. Shout out. And this guy was taking a friend home, a coworker home, Friday night, where supposedly he was attacked by three men. Now, people are still looking for these, police are still looking for more information on what happened, but this guy was beaten to death. They hit him with objects in their hand. So they beat him so bad he was unrecognizable. Blunt force trauma to the head. Just check out the story, man. We'll come back and do what we do.
Arlington police are looking for a group of people who beat a 51-year-old man to death at an apartment complex. Police don't have a motive behind the killing, but the victim's family tells us that he was just trying to drive a friend home from work when that attack happened. Fox 4's Rebecca Butcher is live in Arlington with the story. Rebecca.
Yeah, Heather, a close friend says that the victim was beaten unrecognizably. His family says they just want justice. Family is left heartbroken after police say their loved one was beaten to death in the parking lot of an Arlington apartment complex. Arlington police say about 12:30 Friday morning they were called to the Water Dance Apartments on Blue Water Drive about several people fighting. They say they found the victim, now identified by the Tarrant County Medical Examiner as 51-year-old Frank Kwasnica III, unresponsive with blunt force trauma to his head. He was rushed to the hospital where he died. Kwasnica's daughter told Fox 4 off camera her father drove to the apartments that night to drop off a coworker. Arlington police say they believe two vehicles pulled up next to him in the parking lot. Three people got out and started yelling at Kwasnica. They chased him and began hitting him with two large objects. Kwasnica's daughter says she knew something was wrong when her dad didn't come home from work and didn't show up for work the next day.
He was humble and he was chill to himself.
Kwasnica lived in a Grand Prairie neighborhood about 20 minutes from the apartment complex. A neighbor who spoke with us didn't want to show his face or use his name since the killers are still on the loose. He says he regularly talked with Kwasnica and will be missed.
He was friends with everybody.
Kwasnica's family shared a statement Tuesday saying, in part, "My daddy Frank was one of a kind, the best daddy anybody could ever ask for. He didn't deserve this. We loved him dearly. He would have been 52 years old tomorrow. If anybody has any more information to finding who did this, please come forward." Arlington police say they don't know a motive for the attack, including whether the killers were trying to rob Kwasnica, and they don't know if Kwasnica knew any of his attackers.
Frank is going to be missed by me and my family.
And police haven't made any arrests so far. They also don't have any detailed descriptions of the suspect or in the car that they drove off in. If you have any information that can help, you're urged to contact police.
Guys, that's the story of Mr. Frank Kwasnica. And may he rest in peace. When I first seen this, I was like, he was taking somebody home. But it's a lot of stuff that don't, I ain't gonna say it don't add up, but it's a lot of questions that remain in this situation. He was taking somebody home, right? If you're listening to the article, it said he took somebody home, and his daughter was like, hey, she knew something was up when he didn't come home that night. He took somebody to their house. Then all of a sudden, said two cars pulled up and jumped on him. Said he was on foot. So obviously he was outside of the car. So what did he do? He got out the car and he was sitting and talking to the guy. My thing is, how did he get out the car? So did he go inside the house? or what? Because it seems to me like, at first I was thinking, 'cause they said they ain't got no leads in it. I'm like, okay, well, maybe when they said 2 cars pulled up, maybe it was road rage. He did something to somebody, they followed him, went up in there and did something to him. But I kept saying to myself, how did he get out of the car? So I think either he went inside with the person that he dropped him off, or, I don't know. They never interviewed the person he dropped off. So I'm thinking like, what's going on? Something was going on that somebody don't know about. Now, am I saying he did anything wrong? No, I'm not saying he did anything wrong. I mean, people said nice things about him, which doesn't mean anything. But it's just odd that he got out of his car when 2 guys rolled up on him. Maybe he knew him. Because another thing, I think this is personal. For somebody to beat you like that, I mean, it does happen a lot of times with random strangers, but they jumped out the car and they beat you with stuff, with objects, and chased you down at that. That seemed personal to me. What y'all think? But I mean, he's gone. A lot of people left hurting. See, he got a daughter and family. They looking for help. I just don't understand this whole scenario nowadays, how like people can just beat the hell. Like they said they beat him so bad he was unrecognizable. Blunt force trauma. I guarantee you he was on the ground. That's why I think it's personal. He was on the ground, motionless, not fighting back, while they was hitting him with objects, and they still kept hitting him. That's a lot of hate. They said nothing was taken. You see that? I think this thing, what happened to him, was personal. I don't know if he's a supervisor at the job, because it showed him, looked like he worked at Home Depot. He might have been a department head or something. He fired somebody and they seen him. It's like, you know what? We're going to get him. Who knows with these type of situations? But I mean, to walk up on somebody you don't know and just mercilessly beat the hell out of them. I mean, it happens. But in this case, I think this is somebody, I mean, if they're doing an investigation, this got to be somebody that he knew or interacted with either in the past or at present for this to happen to him. Because I mean, nobody deserves to go out like that. Nobody. I mean, I don't know what kind of person he was. I'm just looking at this thing as a whole. That could have been anybody, the way that scenario turned out, because what would make it more scary if they didn't know who he was. What if it was mistaken identity? We start to see a lot of videos now. I mean, a lot of videos out, a lot of news stories basically, where people are getting tore up because they look like somebody else that did something to somebody else. It's just so easy nowadays where violence is just key. Like, we got to go to violence immediately. No dialogue, no nothing, no conflict. Resolving the conflict, it gotta go to war. We gotta commit war immediately against the person that we feel is the wrongest. And that ain't right. But then again, I mean, we deal with a lot of men out here that don't act like men no more. They act like mindless children. A smart man, minimize risk. So many people run out there and just put themselves in risky situations because they angry. It's like you can't control yourself. Then it reflects on your life. I don't know what happened with this guy. It's sad. I hope they do come to some type of, they find the people that did this. But as of now, they have no motive and they looking for the public's help. So if anybody knows anything about it, man, just say something. Another thing, let me say this real quick. The guy they interviewed, I guess he was the co-worker, I guess he was a co-worker. He ain't want to say nothing because he said the people are still at large to show his face. The only reason why I would say he didn't want to show his face, to me, is you saw these people. Because if nobody knows you, nobody knows you. That's just me thinking. But anyway, I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's a shame. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.